What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money making Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. We made it. Postseason NBA basketball. The regular season's in the books. We're not officially in the playoffs, but we are in the play-in. And we got two great games today. I'm ready to break them down, let you, ladies and gentlemen, know my thoughts, get you in and out of here with some information you need to know, and hopefully we come out green on the other side. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And, of course, I have premium plays over at the site, ladies and gentlemen. Money making Tuesday, man. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Nothing I love more than sitting back and watching postseason NBA basketball. I like the play-in tournament. I like the idea of it. I like these, one-game standalone, must-win style games. I think it creates a really good chaos. I think it creates a really good watching environment. It creates almost an instant Game 7 style scenario. So I'm all for it. I'm ready for it. I'm going to break down these two games for you, ladies and gentlemen, right here, right now. So without further ado, really ain't got much else to say, but let's get her done, man. First game on the board. We got the Atlanta Hawks out on the road facing the Orlando Magic. Magic, 5.5-point home favorites here in this one. Good game. Interesting game. Two teams who I will say had some ups and downs this season. Both teams we know have star power. Hawks have Trae Young. The Orlando Magic, they got Paolo Banchero and Mr. Wagner. Wagner and Banchero missed extended amount of time this season. Early in the season when they were struggling, when they were out, we were like, okay, wait till the Magic get back healthy. They're going to return back to that dominant team at home that they were a season ago. They got back healthy, and I'm here to tell you that never happened. They never returned back to that dominant home team you thought that they would be. Jalen Suggs missed an extended amount of time this season that really hurt this team. And when I look back at how Orlando played down the stretch at home, I'm a little concerned laying this many points. I really am. Now, full season numbers, it says the Orlando Magic are 17-11 as a home favorite. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. On the other side, the Atlanta Hawks are 18-12 as an away underdog. So I kind of went back and looked at how the Magic performed in these games. And I think that 17-11 is way more tainted than you might think. It's hard to look at the month of April. We're 2 weeks into April. It's hard to look at April and say this is who teams are, this is who they're going to be. April was a month of a lot of teams had seeding locked up. A lot of teams were outright tanking. So some of the numbers and some of the things got kind of tainted towards the end of the season. Let me tell you what I mean by that. The Magic, they did dominate the Celtics at home, 96-76. That wasn't the Celtics, though, right? So that's a home win, a home favorite win. But it's not what you might think it was. They got a home win over the Hawks, 119-112. But the Hawks really didn't play anybody in that game, so it's hard to take something real from that. So those were the only two home games they've played in the month of April, and I don't think you could really take anything from those. I don't think you could take anything from that Hawks win in Atlanta over the Magic either. That game is not the two teams we're going to see on the floor tonight. So let's kind of look back at, let's start in March and look at who the Magic were at home in March. This team lost the last game of the month to the Clippers, 96-87. I watched that entire game. Magic were in that game through three quarters and looked disgusting in that fourth quarter in that one. They did blow out the Sacktown Kings. We'll give them credit for that. Final score in that one was 121-91. Really good win for the Magic. We'll give them credit for that one. They lost at home to the team from Dallas, 101-92. That's a head-scratching loss, ladies and gentlemen. That's a head-scratching loss, in my mind, in my opinion. They did beat the Lakers, and that's the other win I will give them a ton of credit for. They beat the Lakers 118-106 at home on the 24th of March. Really good win for them. Outside of that, man, it got real dicey for the Magic at home at the crib down the stretch. 116-108 loss at home to the Rockets. They did beat the Cavs 108-103, but that game was in Cleveland. I'm talking about mainly at home. So when we look at home, they lost to the Bulls 125-123 in Orlando. They lost to the Raptors 114-113 in Orlando. They lost to the Raptors 104-102 in Orlando. You go back to February, where this team was still struggling at home. The Orlando Magic lost to the Warriors at home, 121-115. Cleveland blitzed them at home, 122-82. They did kick the crap out of Washington, 110-90, but, I mean, it's Washington, arguably the worst team in the league. On the 21st of February, they lost at home to the Grizzlies, 105-104. The game before that, they did beat the Hornets, 102-86, but, you know, Wizards might have been 30, Jazz might have been 29, Hornets might have been 28. So it's like I'm not giving them a ton of credit for beating the bottom tier of the NBA. I'm trying to rattle off the games where they played serviceable teams with realistic expectations, still playing good basketball. And in those games, the Magic struggled. Even on the 10th of February, they played the Hawks at home. Hawks went into Orlando and won that game, 112-106. And I think that's really the only game between these two teams that I can pull from that held some real weight. Wagner went off on that game for 37 points. Trae Young did not have the best game in that one. He only had 19. And the Hawks still went into Orlando and won that game 112-106. I'm worried about Orlando at home at the crib, and I think looking specifically at just them as a home favorite, their numbers are tainted. When they play teams on their skill level, when they play teams with realistic expectations at home down the stretch, it was dicey for them. And I think it's going to be dicey today. On the other side, the Hawks, let's talk about the Hawks a little bit. What have we said about the Hawks for majority of the season? The Hawks, when they play good teams, they play up to their competition. Or when they play teams on their same level, they play those games extremely tough, really well. Where we run into issues, problems, and struggles with the Hawks are when they play bad teams. When they play bad teams, they play down to their competition, and they just seem to forget how to play basketball. In a game like this today, Game 7, win or go home. Not win or go home because they do. The loser does play it, in a couple days in the actual win or go home game. But still, heavy weight on this game tonight. I think this is going to be a really competitive game that comes right down to the wire. And in that style game, I want the points in my back pocket. I think the Hawks have a legitimate chance to come here and win this game outright, just like we've seen them do on the 10th of February. For me, a lot of people say defense wins championships. And in football, I believe that's the case. In the NBA, I don't really subscribe to that, man. Great offense usually overcomes great defense in the NBA. You can play as good as defense as you want to, man. These guys are unbelievable. And while the Magic are one of the best defensive teams in the league, I think the Hawks' offense overcomes that today. And I think Orlando's offense prohibits them from pulling away. I worry about an offensive inept team laying over a couple buckets in a really meaningful spot. I'm on the Hawks. I hope that made sense to some of y'all. I'm on the Hawks plus the points in this one. Honestly, I think they have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. So take from that what you want. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's head over to the other game, man, where we have the Memphis Grizzlies out on the road facing the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are 7.5-point home favorites in this one. Interesting game. The Warriors, they were struggling pre-All-Star break, pre-trade deadline. They needed some help. and they went and acquired that help. They traded for Jimmy Butler, traded Andrew Wiggins to Miami, acquired Jimmy Butler, and since then, man, that team went on an absolute run, an insanity run. We rode that run with them. As soon as he acquired them, I told you guys, I said the Warriors now have 2 henchmen. Steph Curry has 2 henchmen. Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, watch out. That's a scary sight to see. And they were one of the best teams post All-Star break, post trade deadline. Right here, like I would say the last 6-7 games or so, they weren't playing nearly as well as they were immediately following the trade deadline. So that is something to kind of keep an eye out on. They were favorites in their last game the other day against the Clippers in a, whoever wins that game has a solidified playoff spot. Whoever loses that game falls into the play-in. The Clippers' defense late was able to overcome the Warriors. The Warriors had some really bad late turnovers in that game. And then I really didn't like that play draw for Buddy Hield late there in the end. Curry was hot as hell. You got to let Curry shoot that, in my mind, in my opinion. But overall, though, I still am really liking what I'm seeing from this Warriors team. This is a legacy-style run for this Warriors team. Curry getting older. He ain't got too many runs left in him. Draymond, he don't got too many runs left in him. Jimmy, he ain't got too many runs left in him. I think this is a legacy-style run for the Warriors. At home at the crib tonight, I think this is going to be one of those playoff games where the Warriors, you just sit there like, God damn. You know what I mean? Like Curry going to be hot. Jimmy, I think, is going to be playoff Jimmy. Y'all know that's a real thing. That's not a joke. That's a real thing. And I think playoff Curry, playoff Jimmy together is going to be a sight to see. On the other side, man, the Memphis Grizzlies, I worry about this team tremendously. They're the complete opposite of what the Warriors were. Pre-All-Star break, man, this team you thought might have, was looking really good. That's what I will say. This team was looking really, really good pre-All-Star break. They were the second best ATS team in the NBA. You were cashing blindly, just rolling with Memphis. And then the All-Star break happened, and I don't know what happened, but all hell broke loose. They went through a tough stretch of injuries, and then after the All-Star break, this team couldn't cover anything. They went on one of the worst ATS stretches I've ever seen in my life. I believe off the top of my head, they're like 5-28-1 ATS. Last, whatever that is, 36, 37, something like that. Like, that's how bad Memphis has been from an ATS perspective of recent, and I still don't trust them. They got to show me. And out on the road facing the light-skinned man, Jimmy, playoff Jimmy, Draymond, I don't want to be on the other side of the Warriors tonight. I don't. I do think Memphis makes the playoffs. I think they lose tonight, and they're going to beat the winner of the Mavs and the Kings and get that 8th seed and play the Thunder in the first round. This is a lot of lumber to lay with Golden State, but I think it's warranted. The Golden State's a team that when they get hot, they could win this game by 20 plus. Memphis, I think, the firing of the coach, I don't like. Late down the stretch, like that tells me there's problems in the organization, and it's not great playing the Warriors in a playoff series. Like, how many times have we seen the light-skinned man get busy this time of year? Do you really want to be on the other side of that? I don't. I'm on the Warriors. I'm laying it. I think they probably beat up on the Memphis Grizzlies in this one tonight. I just don't really see no other way around it. Like, Memphis, we usually trust them more so at home, but with how disgusting they were from an ATS perspective down the stretch, I think that's just who they are right now. And the Warriors, we know how well they can play. So, Warriors for me, laying the points here on our last and final game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And, of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money Making Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all tuning in to my NBA Jam Session play-in edition. Playoff edition will start here really soon. But let's do the damn thing, man. Let's make some money tonight. Let's cash. See y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.